Hello, Brave Awakened ones. Good afternoon. I meant to do this in the morning, but had a lot going on this morning. Finally got some free time to do this, and I'm taking it. This video I'm making about the narcissistic demonic energy. That is what I'm making it on because this is the energy that is dominating and ruling and incorporates all the other dark spiritual energies, these spirits, they're spirits, these energies, the spirit of evil, the spirit of perversion. You think of the succubus energy, okay? The Jezebel energy. Before I even get into this heavy topic, thank you, supporters. Thank you, Patreons. Thank you, all those who attend the webinars. I'm so happy. I'm getting such great responses for the webinars. Thank you for everyone who's responding well too, because it took a lot for me to put myself out there to do that. I'm so glad it's helping so many people. One client subscriber had to laugh at me saying, "And you were afraid of getting so esoteric. Now look at you." I was. But the response is getting really good, and I keep hearing, especially from Jesus and Archangel Michael. I'm really working very closely with them right now, and I'm told you're the one who's leading this battle. You're the one leading this charge. Okay. The way it was shown to me was like in a 3D, very crude sense. Think of the armed forces. You have the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guards, Air Force, right? Think of what I'm doing, and those of us who are Rainbow Light Warriors, who are the ones to do the offensive moves. We're part of that certain part of the armed forces in the spiritual realm. Okay? There's those who are grid workers. They're part of that special armed force as the light worker realm. We're the military branch, okay? And we're each doing different things. Okay? Think of it that way. And with me, it's higher magic. And all those who are called into being masters of higher magic, the alchemists, the high priestess, and the priestesses. That is who and what we are. This is what we're doing. That's why I always say no hand holding. I'm here working with masters. I get the information and I'm passing it off to those who are ready to be masters in higher magic, be the high priest and the high priestesses. Okay, so that's what it's all about. I had spoken about this topic last week. As you guys know, I've been doing the higher magic webinars, which are all available on my website, higherrealmholistics.com. The recordings and the materials, I have everything step by step. And the recordings are really awesome. You get to see some serious magic going on in those things. I'm surprised at what comes up. And the last one we did for mending and healing broken and fractured relationships, we had an apparition of Kuan Yin show up. I'm talking big pink apparition right there next to me. I didn't even know. I just felt an energy. I'm like, this is not the regular orbs energy orbs that I saw. I saw it on the camera. I was like, holy! I was almost afraid to move, but it was, and it was Kuan Yin. I kept hearing it, and then other people knew even before I said it. I was like, yes, it is Kuan Yin. We were working with her energy for compassion and healing, so it was ultra cool. You could again purchase it on higherrealmholistics.com. Now, what we're doing right now is something I had to do. Of course, I'm always guided to do it for myself first because the energy smacks me in the face. And it's like, either do it or go down with the ship. And I have not to go down the ship, be dragged down to the pits of hell with them. So like, no, I'd rather do it. Thank you very much. And it was banishing. I have done banishing in the past. I've prayed and meditated and lit a few candles in my lifetime to banish people out of my life. The person, and I've done this to two people, guys, that I've exes that were living in my same neighborhood or even down the block from me, I kid you not. And I've never seen them again my entire life. Ever. Never. Paths never cross. And Jesus and Saint Michael, Archangel Michael's the one who took me to task on this. And it's like, you have done binding with your ex-husband and his family and whatever come after you, you have done, reversal, send things back, and he end up experiencing, you have to banish this man out of your life, out of your energy field. Not my life, because he's not in my life, but he's in my energy field, therefore in my life, and seriously affecting it still, where he's affecting heavily, especially my son. Somewhat my daughter, but mostly my son. It's like my son will be one way, and then he gets to him, that demonic narcissistic energy of my ex-husband gets to him, and it flip a switch on me in a second and be like, where the hell did that come from? And then I'll be reminded, because you didn't banish this man out of your lives. Because I'm like, he may not be the top dad. He was a horrible husband, but at least, he's decent. He keeps the kids, my son decided to go stay with him for college without my approval, without my even knowing. I didn't know until next thing I know, I'm being dragged into court for child support. Okay. Y'all know about that, coming home with a $34 paycheck, which I eventually won. I thought, and I did that. I did a spell for that. I thought, okay, I humiliated this guy in court without a lawyer while he had his expensive lawyers. I ripped him to shreds. I exposed him. I did exposing of his lies. I did all of those things, but I never banished him. And I was told I will never receive even my lump sum of money will not come to me, because that, and I know how much it's supposed to be. It's more than I even asked for. I will not receive it because it directly affects my children until this man's banished out of our lives. And I was like, I don't want to send him. I know it'll work because I've done it. I don't want to send him away forever because of the kids. It's because of the kids I have to send him away. It's because of the kids I have to send him away. I have to. That it's still, even though we've been divorced 10 years, he's remarried, other kids, it's still that fear of being that single mom thing. And that it broke. And that narcissistic, this is what you guys have to understand. And I'm going to read this to you so you could understand it, because nothing put it better than Ephesians 6:12. I'm going to read you Ephesians 6:12. Okay? Ephesians 6:12. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Evil spirits in the heavenly places is the astral realm. The heavenly place is the astral realm, negative 4D, which is the narcissistic spirit. That is what has been ruling 3D. That is what has been ruling Earth. And there's different levels of narcissism. Okay? There's different types of narcissism. That narcissistic spirit, it incorporates the liar, the forked tongue, the half-truths, the inversions, the perversions. It has all of that. Depending on how susceptible that person is, that will be to the degree that narcissistic demonic spirit is on them. Okay? Now for me, because I was born vibrating higher, because I was born as a light worker, okay, because of my soul, it couldn't overtake me, possess me, but it sure was in my auric field. It was in my energy field. Less and less of it, as the more I awaken, the more I ascend, the less and less of it could be in it. But it's still very much in the form of my ex-husband. He's inundated with it. He has been overrun by it. He is possessed by it, as my mother is possessed by it also. My daughter, she has a lot of it attached to her. So does my son. Okay? So it is up to me as the Blu-ray Starseed, as the light worker in this bloodline, to abolish by banishing this narcissistic demonic spirit from me, from my children. And it is alive and well in my ex-husband. And to banish that energy off of him. It also not off of him. I'm not banishing it off of him because he has opened himself to receiving it fully. I will completely banish it off of myself and my children out of our lives so we could ascend to be our highest and best. And also to reunite. And on Saturday, I did that mending the broken relationships, but I had to tend to my garden first before I could do that spell for myself and for the collective who joined me on that webinar. I had to banish my ex-husband because mending the relationships was not going to count if I still had that narcissistic energy spirit in my energy field. It wouldn't allow for the mending to happen. And here's the whole thing. I'm going to let you guys in a little something that was going on between me and my daughter. It was like almost out of the blue. I had no idea what I said. She always runs to my sisters and tells my sisters, Mom did this, Mom did that. So I'm not talking to her. My sisters called me up. What is going on? She said that she blocked your number. And she said that you're not going to talk to the baby again. I didn't. I did not see or talk. Well, not see. I live down here in Miami and they're in Atlanta. I did not talk to my granddaughter for weeks. I was in tears, heartbroken. But then I was told it's because you bound that spirit, but you haven't banished it. It's still in your energy field. It's still very much on your daughter. It's still very much on your son. So they may come in and out, in and out, in and out. I banished that demonic narcissistic spirit on Saturday. Yesterday I picked up my granddaughter and she's with me right now. She's going to be with me for a couple of weeks while my daughter's going on vacation. She just called me out of the blue. Yeah, I'm going camping. I know you're returning, returning the kids. I told you I had my nieces with me. So do you want the baby? I'll have Aunt D. I'm not going to say my sister's name. I'll have Aunt D come and bring the baby and you can have the baby instead. I said, yeah, sure, I would love to. She goes, I know you haven't seen her in a while. You haven't spent any time with her. Just like that, out of the blue. So now in the minute the spell completed, I was shown by Jesus how my ex-husband's going to suddenly turn on my son. My son's going to be like, what is going on here? Because my ex-husband, that demonic narcissistic energy on my ex-husband, he's going to realize that he can't feed off of my son and use my son to feed off of me anymore. So he's going to reject my son and literally kick him out of the house, and my son will, go to my sister who lives like 5 minutes away from my ex-husband, and then we reunite, and then he's going to be out of the picture forever. Like, we're never going to see him again. So I had to come to grips with that. So I'm going to put this out. I'm going to do that banishing spell on Wednesday. Not Wednesday, I'm sorry, Saturday. This Saturday coming up, which is, what day is that? The 29th of June. I'm going to do that banishing spell for the collective. And of course, you have to do it for yourself too. I open the door to it. I'm loosening the binds, the chains for you. I'm loosening it. Some things may fall off, but you really have to do it for yourself also. Okay? If you're if you're there on the webinar, don't waste your time or money or effort or my energy. Do it. You have to do it for yourself also. I loosen it for you. Like I said, I've had plenty of people experience like quote unquote miracles after attending the webinar and get even further in, even more results doing it again for themselves. Okay? Because you want to master. It's about being that magician and the high priestess, because you're doing it for yourself, but then somebody's going to come to you and you'll teach them and do it for them and help them, because we're here to master. You're the master magician. You're the alchemist. You understand? So yeah, I'm going to do that Saturday the 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put the link on my website. So once you do the payment, it's only $22. I send you the registration and stuff like that. And you could purchase the other ones, the previous ones, also from my website. So what triggered me to share this today, this video talking about that narcissistic spirit also, is I have to say, is that beware. I made a video a few videos ago. Be very aware that this demonic energy is penetrating and seeping into the light worker community. It's very much in there. I ended up late doing sessions today because the first few hours of my day was taken up with dealing with this person who is part of the light worker community, is a spiritual healer herself, has her own big channel, has her own website and everything, came to me for guidance, and then turned around and claimed that, oh, somebody must have stolen her credit card. And she wrote to me, oh, who are you? Somebody stole my credit card. Please give me back my money. I'm like, excuse me? So I was like, I sent her the 10 emails that we had in conversation, including our session link that I still kept. Maybe she thought I deleted everything. I don't know. And I said to her, nice try. I was like, that was weird, unless she has multiple personality disorder and doesn't remember. And I wake up this morning to PayPal telling me that this person reported this is an illegal, not an illegal charge, but the credit card company is reporting that this is not a good charge, whatever, blah blah. And they wanted, my end on it. So I called the PayPal. I was like, yeah, I have all her information here, and I sent it to PayPal. So let's see what happens. But this woman, she's supposed to be a light worker, so she calls herself one. She gives counseling to people. Imagine that. Turns around and does something like that. And I had another person who's coming on my channel and saying, oh, I see this going on with you, this going on with you, that going on with you. I'm like, I don't think that. And I didn't even say anything to her. I just deleted the comments. Then she'd put it again, and she went and put it on other videos, and I would just delete the comments. So she got very upset. I deleted her comments and decided to go on my book and attack me on my books. And, it's one thing leaving a bad book review, but she called me many things. Oh, she's just some loudmouth blow, hot windbag from YouTube, blah, 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 and a whole lot of nasty things. So she attacked me personally also. And then, sent me other messages, more, and I had to eventually just ban her. So I had like 3 of those attacks from other people who call themselves light workers in this month alone, in June. June ain't even over yet. So it's getting like that, and it's showing up more and more. It's showing its ass, let's put it that way. And you will find, you'll have specifically people who are in the quote unquote light worker community, also people who are deal with magic and stuff, coming after you, because that narcissistic energy, that demon, that spirit, it feels attacked. It's going to try to fight like a rat in a trap. It's going to keep fighting until it's dead. Like a roach in a trap, it's going to keep fighting until it's dead. These demons say they're not going to stop till the last one drops. So they're going to fight. And they're coming through who's ever susceptible, who's ever open to it, who's ever weak-willed enough in the light worker community. It's going to come through them, who's ever still living in their ego. I actually had another guy come after me 2 days ago, and I'm just like, where the hell did this come from? In an email. I was like, well, okay. Who says he's a light worker and powerful and blah, blah. I'm just like, bro, I don't know what you want with me. But yeah, that's the way it is. It's going to come through these light workers in the light worker community, because it wants to take us down. So it's infiltrating. It's an infiltration. This is a spirit. It infiltrates. It goes in. And if you're susceptible enough. Okay. Now, I'm a comic book geek. I'm a superhero geek. So yeah, a lot of people don't even like this movie, but I love it. I own it, okay? The Green Lantern. Now, if you watch The Green Lantern, the movie, or if you know anything about the comics books, with fear, the entity, the being, the spiritual being of fear, which is exactly how it is. Like they say everything, especially the comic books, man, the superhero movies. Look into those. That is what's going on for real. That this fear spirit, when the guy on Earth who's supposed to become the Green Lantern, who ended up being the Green Lantern, why did the energy of the Green Lantern go to him and not the fear energy, when the fear energy went into the scientist dude and not the Green Lantern? Why did it pick that scientist guy to go into and overtake and overrun and turn into a monster? Because he was susceptible. He was vibrating low enough for it to attach to him. That narcissistic demonic spirit, it could be within your bloodline and affect everyone differently depending on their level of susceptibility. It will affect you. It affected me, but it couldn't attach itself to me. So it affected everything around me. Do you understand? But it did make me, when it came to, it did affect me when I was younger in many ways, like saying, thinking I hated men and thought lowly of men and not just men, then thinking men were this and women were that. So I hated everybody. It made me see everyone in a certain world. It only made me see darkness of everybody, because it had to affect me somehow until I was able to shake it off. Okay. So yeah, that was all I had to say. I don't want to run out of time. So we're going to be doing that, banishing the narcissistic spirit off of ourselves. And when you do it the way I did it, I had my ex-husband in the black candle in the middle, and then me and my children with white candles around it. And then especially if you're a parent, you could do it that way. Okay? Or you include other family members you want to help. But just know that, and put say narcissistic demonic energy and just write that on the candle in the middle. But just know this. And I was told this, so you could argue with me or not. You don't have to agree. You don't have to resonate with it. But I was told very clearly, when it comes to the baby boomer generation and older, if they're still alive, unless they're already awakened, unless they're already on the path of ascension, there's nothing you could do to affect them. Like, there's nothing I could do to help my mother with that. She's overrun with the narcissistic demon. It is completely taken her over. There's nothing I can do to help her. Nothing. Nothing. It is what it is. Her soul's not ready for this ascension. Okay, has nothing. The age. You can meet. I don't know. You could. The way it was shown to me when it comes to your children, because it's generation X, Y, and Z. Because we're the generations who are going to be alive to experience the new earth. We're the ones who are going to be alive to experience the new earth. X, Y, and Z. To fully live in the new earth. X, Y, and Z. So that's why I was told, don't expend my energy focusing on anyone who is a baby boomer unless they're already ascending, already awakened. Because I have many older clients, but they're already awakened and ascending. You know what I mean? So please don't be insulted by me saying that. You're already awakened, you're already ascending. So that's the difference. All right. Hope I make some sense. Whoever I make sense to, I make sense to. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, again, it's going to come out more and more, these people who are in the light worker community, that spirit is fighting for its life, that energy, that, dark demonic, and it is an energy. It's like an entity. It's such an energy force that it is taken up like an entity form, narcissism. And again, there are different degrees and levels to narcissism. Okay, and it incorporates all of them. Fear, the Jezebel spirit, the succubus energy, anger. It includes everything. It's a very inclusive, that energy, the narcissistic demonic energy. Okay? Lady V out. We got this. Join me on higherrealmholistics.com. And if you want a session, you can go there too. Okay? Peace out. Bye.